welcome to the sideboard. My name is Ruben Bressler, and this begins our top 8 interviews. And we're going to start off pretty good with a former Invitational champion, Eric Smith. How you doing, Eric?
Doing good.
Now, you snuck into this top 8 with 36 points.
Yeah.
You were the only 36-pointer to make the top 8, but you had really good breakers. Tell me a little bit about how your tournament went, what you played in Legacy, and what you played in Standard.
In Standard, I played Red White Devotion. I had been trying to find a Standard deck I liked for a while, and I was losing with everything. I picked this deck up, and I started winning nonstop, and haven't really changed much since I started with the deck, and it performed well. I went 7-1 in Standard. In Legacy, I played Jund. I think it's really good right now. It's got a relatively weak combo matchup, but there's a lot of fair decks right now to fight, like playing True Name and to fight True Name. So I feel like Jund just has a very good matchup across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're playing a fair deck, play the fairest of them all. Jund is just nothing but 2-for-1s, so yeah.
I ended up going 5-3 in Legacy, but my 3 losses were 3 very good matchups. I just had very rough draws in those.
All right, well, something that we're going to be doing with all of our top 8 competitors here is we have Modern Madness envelopes here. Of course, at this event, we had another Gold Rush. This one was Modern Madness. We have 6 of every foil from Modern Masters. We were trying to decide before we got on air which card would be most fitting for Eric. I said Mog War Marshal, because he got the Goblin token. Sort of Fire and Ice also works, I think, to fit the theme. He's, of course, hoping for something a little bit better. So pick one of those. There we go. Open that up and see what we got coming. Be sure to open carefully and play again soon. And we got... The suspense is killing me. Sarkhan Vol. All right, Sarkhan Vol foil. It's not too bad. Can't complain too much about a Planeswalker. Yeah, there you go. You ever played Sarkhan Vol?
I have not.
I don't think I've even played Sarkhan Vol since Standard. I don't think I've played it in Cube either.
I might have had it in one Cube deck.
Yeah,
That's about it.
Well, it fits your Jund-colored
does.
Standard deck from the last Invitational and Legacy deck from this Invitational, so maybe you can think about it for future Invitationals. You did not make the top 8 of the last one, but you won the one before that, 2 out of 3. Pretty good rate. Yeah. Congratulations on making top 8 again.
Thank you.
Eric Smith, and we're going to toss it to the 7 seed with Glenn Jones.
Hello everyone, I am Glenn Jones, and I'm here with Andrew Shroud, Pro Tour Top 8 competitor, a Mox competitor, and now an SCG Invitational Top 8 competitor. This is your first SCG Invitational Top 8 though, right?
Yes.
All right, well, congratulations. Why don't we first start by covering the decks that you played. You're going to be playing Standard, so we'll start instead with Legacy. I know you played a Death and Taxes deck. You showed it to me a little bit before the event. It's a pretty good-looking Death and Taxes deck, but a friend of yours, I believe, lent it to you.
Yeah, I borrowed it from a friend of mine, Cody Leach, who lives in Louisville. It was completely foiled out except for the Rich imports. I have no idea why he trusted me with that.
We're glad he did.
Totally could have pawned that off if I got in a bind, but I didn't, so he lucked out.
Yeah, traditional Vegas risk, the pawn shop.
Yeah.
So you also played Standard, and you're playing Green-White Aggro, which is a pretty unique deck, just not even in this top 8, but also in the tournament. It was not a very popular deck. In fact, I believe it was just you and Wesco basically playing like almost identical lists.
Yeah, this was Craig Wesco's brew. He's a teammate of mine. He showed me the list last week, and I saw it, fell in love, and basically just committed on the spot.
Now, one of the marquee cards in the deck is, I believe, the main deck Skylashers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a card a lot of people see coming, the main deck Skylashers. Not the only group to be main decking Skylashers this weekend either, so pretty scary card against a field of Mono Blue Devotion. But there's not a lot of Mono Blue in this top 8.
Just the one, yeah.
Yeah, are you crossing your fingers, hoping you get to line up there?
It would have to be in the finals, but I'll take it if I get there, for sure.
If you get there.
Yeah.
All right, well, you had to get through 16 rounds. You made it to the top 8, and now you've earned the right to play. You haven't earned it yet, but you've earned the right to play for your own token.
Yep.
If you win, what token are you going to pick?
If I win, I will have won on the back of Advent of the Worm, so it has to be the 5/5 worm.
I'm not going to lie, an anthropomorphized worm token sounds a little scary to me.
I'm hoping that it would be like I'd be riding the worm with like a cowboy hat and a lasso or something like that. I don't know.
I like that. That sounds pretty fun.
Either way, it's going to look ridiculous. I've made my peace with that, so it'll be fun.
All right. Well, I do have one more prize for you, as though the thousands of dollars, notoriety, and potential token was not enough.
What's up?
Because the Invitational Top 8 players didn't get to play in any of these opens, they didn't really get to have access to these sweet, sweet Mythic Madness things we're doing. So. Okay. I've got one for you. I'm a gentleman. Now you got to open it right here. We're
Do
doing
I?
it on
I have
camera.
to open it?
Yep.
Okay. How about this? Instead of me opening it, can I sell it to you for $5? $5 right
I'm
here
not
on
gonna lie.
camera.
This week has not gone that well for me.
No?
$5 is
Got no gambling, Glenn?
outside my budget right now.
All right. All right. Fine. Let's see what we got.
I am excited though, personally.
I'm excited. So excited I can't even open the thing. What do we got? What do
These
we
are tricky.
got?
I mean,
What do
envelopes.
we got? I'm not gonna
Crowd
look.
gets it
The
first?
camera can look. The camera can look. Oh, I can actually. This doesn't work. What do we got? Sign of Una.
Sign of Una, not bad.
All right,
not bad.
all right, I'll take it, I'll take
I would
it.
not be surprised if Sign of Una is the best one we see today on these interviews.
Sweet.
So congratulations on your top 8
Thank
once
you.
again, Andrew. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back to Ruben, and he's gonna bring you your 6th seed invitational top 8 competitor.
Welcome back to the sideboard. I am joined by your 6th seed, Alex Bertoncini. Alex, congratulations on making top 8.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your tournament. What did you play in Standard and Legacy, and how do you feel about the formats?
I played blue-white control in Standard. I geared it a little more heavily towards what I expected the Invitational metagame to be, which was more control decks. So I put 3 Aetherlings in it because I figured that of all the cards that you want in the matchup, you just always want to play Aetherling.
Right.
It allowed you to play it more recklessly rather than play it with like 2 counter spells open and mana open. Before you just play it more recklessly, and it gives you a very good control mirror match, which I played against like 5 or 6 times in the open. So
Sure.
it was like just very, very good for me there. And then in Legacy, I played Esper Deathblade. It's the deck I had the most practice with. And I think it's very good. It just has a good matchup against almost all the big decks. A couple fringe decks that give it a hard time, but none of those were being played
And that's the deck that you placed second in Providence with.
here. Yeah, it also got me here to this tournament.
Sure,
So yeah,
of
I mean,
course.
it's just very good, and I'm very experienced with it. So
Now, what were your records in Standard and Legacy?
I went 7-1 in Standard, which was shocking because I had not played a single sanctioned Standard tournament.
There you
Really,
go.
like, I think I went 0-3 in Providence.
Sure.
I played that one. I went 0-3 drop, and then I went 5-2-1, the intentional draw with in Legacy.
Sure.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's a pretty successful tournament,
Yeah, it
if
was
I
good.
do say so myself. And
Not bad.
we're getting prepared for the top 8 here, but we have some other business to take care of. We've got a Modern Madness envelope, and you were pretty excited to get one of these.
Yeah, and I didn't get one. I didn't know if we got one for playing in the Invitational. This one.
All right. Let's see what we get. What are you hoping for? What do you think?
Spell Stutter Sprite.
That's a good one.
Spell Stutter Sprite. Yeah. All right. Spell Stutter Sprite. All right. Let's see what we get. I don't know how to open these things.
Yeah, we've had a mythic and a rare so far.
In here?
We've had Sarkon Vol here and over at the
Sarkon Vol, that would've been
and
sweet.
yeah, Eric got Sarkon Vol, and you got it's a blue creature, but
Vidalcan
it's a
Dismisser.
Vidalcan Dismisser. There you go.
Am I being
So,
dismissed?
Well, I'm going to have to dismiss you
Yes.
now because we got some more interviews to get to. Alex,
Sounds good.
congratulations
Thank you very
once again.
much.
Thank you for joining me. We're going to
Thank
toss
you.
it back to the booth.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Shaheen Surani. In how many invitational top 8s is this for you?
It's 5, but I
Five?
don't think I'm counting. I'm counting. It's 5.
All right. Well, an impressive streak of top 8s that you have going. Almost the best streak I think that we've seen in the history of the Open Series. Almost. I can
Jerry's
only
got
think-
one more.
Yeah.
One
We've
more.
got Jerry. However, Jerry's done. You've got time to catch up now. He's out of the game for a little bit.
I think I was the happiest person when he retired. I love Jerry and all, but him being gone has given us little guys hope. So it's
Sure,
good. It's
sure.
good.
Well, congratulations on this finish,
Appreciate
and
it.
you did it on the back of Esper, also known as the Usual.
The usual.
For Shaheen
The usual.
Surani
We don't
fans.
change.
No,
Yeah.
you decided to play in Legacy Esper Stoneblade, which it has. What do you think are the advantages of Esper Stoneblade versus Esper Deathblade? Because those are the 2 decks that I really like with Stoneforge Mystic in the format.
Right. I think Esper Stoneblade obviously is a little more consistent than Esper Deathblade. You don't have Dark Confidant. You don't have Deathrite Shaman, obviously. But on the flip side, you have Ponder and you have more cantrips to get to your really good juicy one-ofs, which I play 1 Intuition still, 1 Vindicate, 1 Engineering Explosives, and I have a lot of 1-ofs and 2-ofs in the sideboard. So I tend to draw a lot better than the Esper Deathblade decks. I'm not weak to Sword to Plowshares, which they are. I love playing against Esper Deathblade, and I remember a match against BBD in the top 4 of an Open where he's got all these cards I can Sword to Plowshare, and it's just it gives me the advantage because none of my cards are dead game 1, and then game 2 he's still banking on Dark Confidant is great, but I have Sword and 3 Snapcaster Mage, which they have 1 or 0, and I get to do all these fun rebuys and stuff too. So I like the matchup better for me in that situation. and also like my combo game better because even though I don't have Deathbright Shaman against like graveyard-based decks, I have Snapcasters, Ponders, and then able to draw my one-ofs a little bit better.
Yeah, your ability to rely on basic lands also seems really good against an invitational field because players are really playing a lot of those tempo decks or other decks that have access to wasteland, and I personally think that that's really powerful in the matchup.
I agree, and I mean, rule of thumb, fetch up basic island and ponder turn 1 is one of my favorite plays in the blind, and you don't lose those unnecessary games, you know, because a lot of times you'll just lose. No account of your own, just keeping a decent hand, but then you get wasteland, and then you lose. I don't really have that same issue. Same thing with Blood Moon. I've been able to beat Blood Moon a lot more than Deathblade decks can do too. And of course, I'm still running the old Lingering Souls. Probably not a good thing to run nowadays. So if you guys out there see the deck list, it probably is time to switch to True Name Nemesis. But I won once.
Time to give him up.
Yeah, time to give it up. I won once. I played against Tim Landell, and he thought sees me. And I reveal my hand, or before I read my hand, excuse me, I have Intuition Land. And I'm like, if this was a True Name Nemesis, I'd have to pitch it, but I got 3 Lingering Souls and, you know, cashed in value. So you still get some interactions. You get to, if he gets countered, you get to flashback.
It's definitely not strictly worse.
Not strictly
like that,
worse.
But the way the format's kind of shifting.
Yeah,
so
it's about 75%.
I'm sure that
worse.
Tom Martell appreciates you, the last bastion of holdout for Lingering Souls, but it looks like it might be time to give it up. So let's talk about your standard deck. That's the match that he has to play today, and you're paired up against Brian Browne, who is also playing Esper, but your decks, as far as Esper decks go, they really could almost not be more different. He's running a version with a lot of creatures, no counter spells at all, basically, between the main and side deck, and he boards in all these Specters and Pack Rats. BBD said he came into this tournament planning to give up Game 1 against Revelation decks. Literally just give it up and win the sideboarded games. It worked out for him all weekend. He went 3-0, I believe, against Revelation decks, winning all the games 2 and 3. Considering that you're playing 5-game sets now, do you find that intimidating?
A little bit. We were playing for fun earlier. Not fun, actually. We actually tested our actual matchup. We boarded and everything. I won Game 1 most time, and we literally went win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. It was 50-50 down the line. It was, who resolves Aetherling, of course, is the key pivotal thing. His sideboard is about similar to mine, though. I always pack a lot of hate, unnecessary hate for the control mirror, because I never want to get bettered by my control mage. So I board in, a ton of cards. I got Saint Collectors, I got Negate, I got Gainsay, I have Pithy Needle, I got all kinds of stuff as well. So we're going to have, our decks are almost similar or identical after board, but he has a few advantages. I think he has an extra Thoughtseize, and he's got an extra Elspeth. So he's got a few extra cards that are better, but in the grand scheme of things, those 2 cards are not too backbreaking, and it really is who draws Saint Collector, who can get more information off their hand, and then who can run amok with Jace, Architect of Thought, or who can slam Aetherling after everything's over.
Sure, okay. So looking at it that way, I guess, do you think that knowing his deck list in advance is like giving you the edge to be able to get like coin flips in the postboard games? Do you think like if you had gotten paired in the Swiss, you might have just gotten like ranched by this sideboard plan?
Yes, if I didn't know his deck list, and because against a control mirror, I usually board out a Detention Sphere too, because it really only hits Jace and Elspeth. Like it doesn't hit any of the creatures, doesn't really do anything else, and then they bring in like a Glare, they have a way to destroy enchantment somehow, and you get blown out that way. So knowing his list that he has Nightveil Spectre after sideboard, I keep all the Detention Spheres in. That information is crucial because Nightveil Spectre can get out of hand. I still board out all my verdicts, and I was talking to him earlier. He's not going to bring a Pack Rat against me because he still doesn't want to run into my 4 Detention Sphere, Merciless Eviction, answers. And after board, the worst thing about Pack Rat in the control mirror is that all your cards are so juicy that you're discarding.
You're discarding
sideboard
real
cards.
ones.
Yeah, you're
like
not discarding Doomblades or something. You're discarding like good cards or land, and you can't do either. So you gotta leave Pack Rat out. Maybe board in 1 to be saucy if he wants to try to get me. But I'm not confident. I think this is a truly 50-50 matchup. I do play a lot of control mirrors, and I hope I might have an edge in that situation.
All right, so you're cautiously optimistic. Then,
yes,
it sounds like.
Yes.
All right, good. Well, if you win this tournament, you've come close before. If you win this tournament, you will get to make a token. What token do you want to make?
Sand Warrior.
Sand Warrior.
Sand Warrior.
That's a unique choice, I gotta be honest. Big Commander fan with Hazazon Tamar?
No, I'm actually doing this an ode to my ethnicity. I want to be something from the region, and I think it's a pretty cool card. I think my face on that token would look pretty cool.
All right.
Make my dad proud, of course. So
honoring his cultural heritage, I can get behind that. All right. Well, we do have one more prize for you, which is a Mythic Madness pack.
Ooh, all right.
Let's see what you can do. You've got to outdo so far as I know. Foil Sign of Moon is the best I've seen. So.
Oh, well, I did open Jason
you did.
In the Mythic Madness
You've
thing.
done well in these. Running good as usual. Shaheen. Standard Shaheen.
Standard me. Opening good cards here. All right, let's see what we got here. All right.
And Ooh.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's a red. I don't even want this. It's a red
Yeah,
card.
what are you gonna
What
do
does
with
this
that?
card even do? Does it do something?
All right, Shaheen, you've got a match to play.
Yep.
Congratulations on
Thanks,
your
sir.
top 8.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to our 4th seed, Brian Browne. He's ready with Ruben Bresler. Enjoy.
Welcome back to the sideboard, and I am joined by Brian Browne. Brian, congrats on another invitational top 8.
Thank you.
This is back-to-back.
Yes.
3 overall.
4.
4 overall.
4 overall.
I miscounted. And a versus video victory on Friday night against Chris Van Meter.
Yeah, I mean,
which is
that-
probably the biggest win of the weekend.
obviously, yeah. I got to kill him with his own cards, which is just
Yeah,
pretty
there you
exciting
go.
stuff. So.
Absolutely. The versus video that he recorded with Chris here at the Invitational will be going up on Star City Games in about a week probably. But so talk to me about your tournament. What'd you play in Standard and Legacy? What were your records, and how do you think it went?
So I played Esper in Standard, and I was pretty unsure about the deck, but I had 2 buys in Standard, so I figured I just wanted to play a deck that I felt I could go 4 and 2 with, and I felt like Esper was that deck. Very good matchups against like most of the Devotion decks. Pretty good matchup against like a lot of the aggressive decks, and then I thought my control matchup was a little loose, but I was hoping to like not have to play against it a lot and just try to get a 4 and 2 out of it. And then I played Sneak and Show and Legacy, which I thought was going to be amazing. Based on like the recent tournament results, there's a lot of decks that just aren't that good against Sneak and Show. They've been like doing well in tournaments, so I was pretty sure that it was going to be an awesome choice. So obviously I went undefeated in Standard and 4 and 3 and 1 in Legacy. So pretty much the opposite of expected, but still counts.
But you're pretty happy that this is a Standard top 8.
Yeah,
in that case.
Yeah, now in this case I'm pretty happy, since apparently I guess my Standard deck was better than I
Yeah,
thought.
absolutely. Play badly but get rewarded anyway. Exactly. Well, played well. Played badly before the tournament.
Right.
Let's move on. All right, so we've got some Modern Masters or Modern Madness envelopes here.
Okay.
You had a lot of experience with Modern Masters at all? Any limited experience with the set?
I played a little bit with it, yeah.
What's the best card to open if you're drafting Modern Masters?
I don't know, how many 1/2s are in the format? Is Squire in the format?
I don't think Squire's in the format.
Stoneforge is not.
Stoneforge isn't in the format.
There's got to be like a 1/2 in there somewhere, some sort of like
Ethereum
artifact.
Sculptor, maybe?
Yeah,
I
Ethereum
think.
Sculptor. Yeah,
There you
1/2
go.
for 2. There he is.
All right, which one's the Ethereum Sculptor? Which one you want?
All right, I gotta feel. I know one of these is a foil, so I gotta feel for which one it is. It's this one. This one's a foil.
I think this one's a foil also.
Oh, okay. We'll go with this one. All right. Yes. Ethereum Sculptor it is. I'd also be fine with Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, that's often a 1/2.
Frequently a 1/2. So in limited. at least.
In limited, yeah.
And also constructed. At least every time I play it.
Sure.
All right.
All
It
right.
is a magic card. All right.
That's comforting.
Mana cost is 2 green red.
Oh man, it's
It is
another
Sarkhan
Sarkhan
Vol.
Vol. Awesome.
All right.
So that's the second Sarkhan Vol we've opened at this table. You
All right.
and Eric Smith are Sarkhan Vol brothers.
I think that just means like we're destined to meet in the finals, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Sounds like it. You'd be pretty happy with that, I imagine.
Oh, of course.
So, top 8's coming up. If you win, of course, you're already a Germ token,
Right.
as premiered here on the stream a couple of days ago. If you win this, though, what token do you think that you'd be?
Well, I thought Germ probably wasn't like grimy enough, so I want to go with Rat.
Rat.
A
Okay.
Rat token.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I want to just hit all the bad tokens I can get.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Perfect. Well, good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
Brian Browne, and we're going to toss it back to Glenn Jones.
Hello, everyone. I am here with Max Browne, Invitational Top 8 competitor. Congratulations,
Thank
Max. Impressive showing. You played in this tournament 2 different decks, Legacy and Standard, as everyone did, and you're pretty excited about your Legacy deck, so let's talk about that. You played Blue-Red Omnitel to a 6-0-2 finish. Didn't lose a match in Legacy. Is so excited about the change over to Standard, I bet, right? Or no?
No, it's okay. It's fine.
So I guess what led you to decide on playing Blue-Red Omnitel?
Well, just really, know there's a lot of hate out there for Sneak and Show, but a lot of that hate is really kind of Phyrexian Revoker or Caracas, and you kind of dodge all that interaction. And at the same time, you're still like a combo deck that's extremely fast. You can win on turn 2, you can win on turn 3, but you kind of just only care about counterspells and discards,
Sure.
so much narrow axis of interaction, and just don't care about True Name Nemesis or any of the other kind of games that are going on in the format.
I guess as people have kind of started to direct themselves more against the creatures and the sneak attacks specifically, that gives you a lot of space to get in there with the Omniscience.
Yeah, definitely. And the red is for Burning Wish, so gives you more kind of consistent package. It's like you have one Show and Tell in the sideboard and one Enter the Infinite in the sideboard, so it's like you're playing 7 virtual copies of Show and Tell, 7 virtual copies of Enter the Infinite, and then 8 of the 4 Dream Halls and Omniscience.
So your Goldfish is actually much more consistent.
Yeah, you're a little more consistent than the mono blue in terms of like your ability to assemble the combo quickly, and also because Burning Wish is cheaper than Cunning Wish helps a lot, and also give you access to the really good red sideboard cards like Red Blast and Pyroclasm and Tremor, which is a sweet one.
That is a nice one. All right, well, you are playing Mono Black Devotion in the standard portion. You went 6-2 there, not shabby at all, and you're going to be playing it in the top 8. So you need 3 more wins before you get to take home the trophy. And you're starting out, what's your matchup here? I believe you're up against Alex Bertoncini on Blue-White Control. How do you like the matchup?
I think it's real close. I might be a slight dog in the post-board games, but it's really like the way the cards line up against each other is very specific to the draws. So it can go either way real easily. I mean, I'm obviously going to try to get out there with Underworld Connections, and I have 2 Ereboses post-board, which is probably the best card in the matchup.
Yeah, it seems to me like you really got to just chip in for damage where you can and try and grind them out. And Erebos is great for that, especially when you can tax their spheres.
Yeah, and you could also keep them off of gaining life off Revelation, which makes it so your Gray Merchants are much more relevant. That's kind of be the strategy: attack their hand, attack their answers, use all the information from Lifebane Zombie, Duress, and Thoughtseize to kind of craft out a game plan that's so like, well, I know I can extend into a Wrath if they don't have it or whatever.
Just try and get as much value, make them as inefficient as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
I think. Like, playing spells on the turns where they want to rev is, in my experience, going to be really huge.
Yeah. And the Lifebane Zombie is real good against. He has a lot of Planeswalkers.
Yep.
So Lifebane Zombie is real good against their Planeswalkers.
All right.
Requires its own answer.
Excellent. Well, I see you wearing a shirt there.
Yeah.
You support a local store. Any friends back home you'd like to thank? Helped you out along the way?
FlipsideGaming.com. Definitely want to shout out to Greg, who's the owner of the store, my boss, and really nice guy.
Putting in the brownie points. I see. All right, Maxwell, if you win this tournament, if you make it through the 3 rounds, you will get to make your own token.
Yeah.
What kind of token do you want to be?
Oh man, I've been getting so many Facebook messages. I mean, like, oh, you should be an insect, you should be a germ, you should be a worm, not the good kind, the WU, the WURM. But I think like the one that most resembles me is it's got to be human, you know, just a.
Yeah, I see that. He's got a real human look to him.
Real
human. All right, well, we have one more prize for you, which is a Modern Madness booster pack.
This is what I was here for.
Yeah, this is what everyone came for. This is Vegas. This is the gamble. Go for it.
Smells good.
So far, I believe Foil Sign-Of-Winter remains the best of the top 8 competitors. I think Sark and Vol is not that cool. That's coming from me.
All right. It's red.
Oh, that's not
Sudden
good.
Shock.
Sudden Shock number 2. Shaheen Sarani also opened a Sudden Shock. That's 2 Sudden Shocks on my side. I guess Ruben's bracket's getting the better value on this one so far. Well, Max, congratulations once again, and good luck. I am going to go ahead and throw it over to Ruben. He'll bring you his interview with the number 2 seed, Taya Steel.
Hello and welcome back to the sideboard. I am joined by Taya Steel, who's our 2 seed. Congratulations on making it this far.
Thank you.
There is still some more work to do, of course, but tell me how you got here. What did you play in Standard and Legacy, and what were your records?
In Standard, I played Red White Devotion, and I was 8-0. In Legacy, I played Junt, and I was 4-2-2.
Okay, so you're pretty happy that this is a Standard top 8 then?
Yeah.
Very confident in your deck?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I played again.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. And we've seen the power of Red Devotion a lot. Actually, Eric Smith and yourself are both playing Red Devotion deck here in this top 8. Wasn't really popular before this weekend, but sort of had breakout success at this invitational.
Yeah.
And you also played Jund, also like Eric Smith, who's also in the top 8, but you had a slightly different build.
Right, I had no Punishing Fire.
Sure.
So it's like a slightly more, it's like almost a little more controlling in the mirror.
Sure.
Like I play Wrath effects.
Yeah, absolutely. So we also have the business of this Modern Madness envelope to get to. So if you want to open that up, do you have any experience with Modern Masters Limited?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
What's the best card to open in a draft pack?
Ooh, maybe like Maloku.
Okay. See if we can crack a Maloku here. Obviously, this isn't a draft pack, so there are other cards we might rather have.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Let's see what we got. All right, I get to see. You don't. It is black.
Is it a Raven's Crime?
It is not. It's Street Wraith.
Street Wraith. All right.
So, all right. I don't think I've actually cast this card in Modern Masters.
I
But
don't know if you're meant to cast it.
well, I mean, it's a 3/4 Swamp Walker. Yeah, but yeah, this is mostly just to shrink the size of your deck. So
I have lost
Street
to
Wraith.
this card any number of times
Oh
in
yeah,
Modern
of course.
Constructed.
Sure. Yeah, I've lost to it several times in lots of formats, including Standard back in the day. So I'm going to let you get ready for your top 8, but I have one quick question. What do you think your token would be if you win this invitational?
So I gave this a lot of thought. Are you familiar with the card Nest Invader?
Yes. Okay.
I think I would like to be a spawn token.
An Eldrazi spawn token, an 0/1. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Then there isn't a specialty Eldrazi spawn token out there.
No.
So
no.
yeah, that's a good one. All right. Well, good luck in the top 8.
Thanks.
And we're going to toss it back to the booth.
Hello, everyone. I am here with our #1 overall seed, Greg Hatch. Congratulations. You'll have the play in every round of top 8.
Thank you.
That's a significant handicap for your opponents.
I have my bad breakers to thank for that because I had to play the last round.
Yeah, so it all wound up working out when you chalked a win in that last round. I believe that was against Matt Nass, right?
That's right. That was an
All right.
incredible. It's still astounding the amount of variance that went into that match. It's outrageous.
All right, well, you are playing a lot of islands in this tournament. Probably more islands across 150 cards than anyone else, I would guess, right?
I mean, maybe a high tide player was playing mono blue, but that's bad.
You played Merfolk in Legacy, a deck that hasn't gotten a lot of respect lately, but with the occurrence of True Name Nemesis, has actually gotten a pretty big boost.
Yeah, and actually I think you're right about that because there's no fetches in Merfolk and there's fetches everywhere else. Anyway, but the True Names are awesome because you're allowed to now cut Wasteland, like in a way, like it gives you a reason to that. Maybe you should have kind of cut it before anyway, but now that it's like you need Cavern, you can go Island, Cavern, True Name, and most decks, if you have 2 counters, if they're interacting with creatures, they just can't beat it. And so from there, you kind of figure out like how the rest of the game's going to go, and then between Adept and the Lords, they have to play around a lot of different kind of strategies: the grind, the overwhelm, and having access to Force with like 1 million blue cards. You're just never in a terrible spot after a mulligan.
Okay, well, it certainly worked out. The standard deck that you'll be relying on for 3 more wins, hopefully, in order to clinch this trophy, that's Mono Blue Devotion. What convinced you to play Mono Blue Devotion in this event? I know you just came off a top 8, so clearly you decided things worked out there. Run it back?
Well, I had access to Mono Black, and I liked Mono Blue when I played in the tournament, and I lost to Red White, and I figured like the reason why I lost was why I felt confident going back in and playing the same deck by kind of changing the list a little bit to have cards that aren't narrow but are good against that matchup. But I really discounted blue-white, and at the beginning of the tournament, I actually was lamenting not playing blue-white control.
Okay.
And it could still be that it was better because I went 6-2 in standard. Although that being said, I love this deck. Master Waves is awesome. Nightveil Spectre is completely unreasonable, and even Cloudfin Raptor, you can do some cool things with the Pongify card. Tidebender tapping Pongify tokens, like these things just all excite me.
All the minor amount of value you can accrue over the course of the
any
tournament.
fringeness, I want to get on board.
All right. Well, you do have a tough matchup in the top 8. It's the deck that dispatched you previously, but it seems like this time you've come a little bit more prepared. Eric Smith's playing the Red-White Devotion deck, and you're packing a lot of hate for him now.
Right, and I assume that this is something he'll hear after the fact, but I have 3 Ratchet Bomb in the board. Between the 4 Domestication, 2 main, 2 board, which are just completely insane, but I think everybody knows about that. But the Ratchet Bombs I put in for all sorts of reasons. It's good in the mirror for wave tokens, but against Chain to the Rocks, it's just completely it's just not reasonable at all. Like, he can't play 2. He no longer can play it without me having an answer to Master. He needs more to deal with Master of the Waves, and that card is incredibly hard to beat. So, I don't have to rift an Oblivion Ring anymore, you know what I mean? Like, he gets to replay it, but with Ratchet Bomb, it's just dead, and it's just so versatile at beating Burning Tree draws. I really can't be happier with the matchup.
All right, well, that means you'll probably be looking at moving to the top 4. It looks like we've got some more controlling decks there.
Well, I'll stop you there, though, because in Legacy, I played against him, and I was playing Merfolk. He was playing Punishing Fire Jund. So, I mean, there is no worse matchup in Legacy for Merfolk than punishing Fire Jund. And he mulled to 4, then mulled to 6, and I managed to squeak one out, even though I almost lost in the mull to 4. And so I don't want to say anything about how good the matchup
I'm
is.
sorry. If I take back the jinx, I won't throw it out there. I know talking to Eric before the event, he was just like, it looks so bad. I can't do any. Boris Reckoner beats my whole deck, and he can just take all of mine. And he was dismal about his chances.
Man.
So I look forward to seeing the match. Greg, congratulations on the top 8.
Thank you so
Before
much.
I let you go, what's the token that you're going to choose if you win?
Well, I was on a Swan Song, and I was on Elemental 1-0 and then I saw the Zektar Shrine 7-1, but Swan Song seems like the best.
Swan Song? All right, that's definitely
like
it's
that
got a nice ceiling too. You know, Swan Song's going to see playable in
And you
internal
get to
formats
do
for
like
a
the
long
thing where you
time.
just kind of hand it to your opponent like that, you know.
All right, well, I have one more thing for you. One more prize that you have won,
Yeah.
which is a Modern Madness booster. You're the
Well,
last
hey.
of our top 8 to receive one.
Awesome.
Hopefully, we've saved the best for last. Go ahead and open it right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. Share with the audience what you received.
Did you pack a Greater Gargadon in here just to?
God, if it was Guardian, that would be awesome.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Glen Elendra Archmage.
Is that all?
A personal favorite, the
Yeah, this
Glen
card's amazing.
Elendra. So once again, congrats on the top 8. After this, we'll be throwing to a live newsning, short break, and then you'll see Ruben Bresler's live newsning from the Invitational going over the top 8, and then we'll actually be starting the top 8, which means you get to play some matches.
Yep.
All right,
I'm excited. Best of 5 too.
Yeah, we'll see you guys after the break.
Thank you.